Okay guys, thanks for joining me. It's time to drop some truth bombs on BBC and the Mockingbird mainstream media. Now, the BBC is out with this article, The Saga of PizzaGate, the fake story that shows how conspiracy theories spread. And the very first line of this absurd article is this: no victim has come forward. Okay, well, allegedly they're children and part of a global pedophile child trafficking network. Kind of tough for them to come forward. Next line. There's no investigation. Completely untrue. There is a global citizen investigation that is not going to go away. Just because the mainstream Mockingbird CIA media refuses to cover this story and do any real investigation does not mean there isn't an investigation. More on that in a second. And the third line, and physical evidence? That doesn't exist either. Well, how about the massive amounts of circumstantial evidence which points directly to a secret child pedophilia ring running in Washington, D.C. and stretching all the way to Norway and London? We're already aware of Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express, which Bill Clinton was on more than 20 times, and Bill Clinton's trips to Pedophile Island. And as John Bound recently reported, Norwegian police arrested 20 men a week ago and are investigating 31 suspects involved in a pedophile network. Deputy Gunnar Floystad told reporters that many of the suspects were highly educated and included lawyers and politicians.
The material discovered on the dark web involved children as young as toddlers and included acts of bestiality.
Also, recall Portland, Oregon police just arrested Terrence Patrick Bean, who according to USA Today had been charged with 2 felony counts for having sex with a minor last year. So who is Terrence Patrick Bean? Just another powerful pedophile who raised more than $500,000 for Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. As I've mentioned in past videos, highly connected elites are often found to be associated with these pedophile rings. And like Jimmy Savile, whose penchant for pedophilia and necrophilia, while he worked for the BBC for decades, was covered up. And as Channel 5 has reported, Savile was not just a lone pedophile, but part of a much larger network in which he trafficked children to elites.
Jimmy Savile, far from being a lone predator, seemingly played an active role in supplying children to a network of child abusers in London.
So as you read BBC's article, The Saga of PizzaGate, the fake story that shows how conspiracy theories spread, are you beginning to see the pattern? PizzaGate is just the tip of a horrifyingly large iceberg. Just below the surface are the unimaginable crimes we have yet to see. But thanks to the PizzaGate investigation, we are now beginning to comprehend. And by the way, the document allegedly hacked from a DC area pizza place's private message board, shared by Joe Biggs in my recent microdoc, Pizzagate Just Got Darker Than Eyes Wide Shut.
This month we have 5 fresh pizzas for your enjoyment.
Has come under fire as being a fake. As I mentioned in my interview on Thursday night with Face Like the Sun's Gans Shimura on his Canary Cry radio show, I hope the document, which refers to child sex and the murder of children who, quote, are in poor health, is fake. Because if true, it speaks to the unspeakable crimes being perpetrated in dungeons around the globe. Impenetrable underground cement-walled kill rooms like the one featured on Jimmy Comet's Instagram page, which included the comment from Jimmy Comet himself, #murder. Would anyone at this point be surprised if the satanic ritual abuse how-to instructions described in that document were true? On Wednesday night, I received an email. I won't reveal the name of the person, but it's a real person with a real name and a real email account. And he wrote, "This is the original document gleaned from Anon, who was actively hacking the app they were using on Twitter. He went private as soon as he found a list of 110 names and said the names were a pretty big deal. But yes, I posted this doc many times on Gab and Gab only. There are still many large pics in the Pizzagate WikiLeaks emails with large data packets that don't belong, and the cracking does continue." And he refers specifically to digital stenography, which is the practice of hiding many images within one image. The encrypted photo can then be sent around, and only those with the key to open it can see the images contained within. And just one more thing about this document. The cell phone capture you see on the screen before you comes from Dodo Mobile, and at the bottom is a name that I won't reveal. And the name of the person associated with this cell phone is a chief strategist for a communications and PR company in the Washington, D.C. metro area. We'll leave it at that, and I'll leave it to you to decide whether or not this document is a fake. But the fact of the matter is this. What we know so far is leading us to the exact same conclusions, because despite the BBC proclaiming PizzaGate to be a fake story, the narrative researchers have uncovered to date was not created out of whole cloth by quote-unquote conspiracy theorists. In fact, the opposite is true. Conspiracy researchers have merely uncovered that which was already hiding in plain sight, or things that were covered up, only to be revealed by John Podesta's emails. It was not conspiracy theorists who wrote emails like these. Sandler Foundation to John Podesta, quote,
"Do you think I'll do better playing dominoes on cheese than on pasta?"
Or this one from Cheryl Mills to Hillary Clinton, quote, "I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch," end quote. Or this one,
"The realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related."
Nor was it conspiracy theorists who created Best of Pizza's logo, a known pedophile boy lover symbol according to the FBI itself, which since this global citizen investigation broke the news of, has been revised. And it wasn't conspiracy theorists who created disturbing images like these, with child skeletons dancing around flames with a pentagram underfoot, all in promotion of a band performing at Roberta's Pizza in New York City, a pizza place said to be enjoyed very much by Hillary Clinton, who loves their quote-unquote special pizza. And it wasn't conspiracy theorists who posted this disturbing image on Jimmy Comet's Instagram page, which is allegedly an image of James Alefantis himself, the owner, covered in blood, wearing high heels. And it wasn't conspiracy theorists who created these computer-generated images of two suspects that look very similar to John and Tony Podesta, suspects being sought in the 2007 disappearance of Madeleine McCann. And finally, it wasn't conspiracy theorists who made this up either. I received an email from an SGT report reader on Friday who writes, "I've watched a lot of your videos of late, and the one with Oli Demigard was fascinating, so I happened to come across this during my investigations that I think he'd love to analyze with you. There's a group called the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington that Best of Pizza's Andrew Klein is the legal counsel for. However, I noticed on the partners page that there was a sponsor called Golden Triangle that had a symbol that was reminiscent to a Masonic symbol. And just for added giggles, of course it's a picture of ping pong on the landing page. My friends, this international pedophile ring is much larger in scope and much more satanic than any of us could have imagined just a month or two ago. Thanks to PizzaGate, this global citizen investigation, we now stand a chance of shining the light of truth on the demons hiding in the shadows. And I'll leave you with this. The wise words from the video, The De-Occulting of John Podesta, from the YouTube channel Marty Leeds 33. Thanks for watching.
Dark magicians and dark occultists run our world. And the sooner that we come to realize this, the better off humanity is going to be. It's a hard thing to accept. It's a hard thing to stomach. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But we need to recognize this for our own proliferation and for the proliferation of true spirit upon this earth. There are very twisted, very sinister people that work in concert behind the scenes to perpetuate a very disturbing, very immoral, and downright evil agenda. And we as a humanity need to stop this. It is literally in our hands.
May I ask, what is the password for the house?
I seem to have forgotten it.
That's unfortunate, because here it doesn't matter whether you have forgotten it or if you never knew it.